3.0. Inside, you're going to find products like their Lawnmower 3.0, which has advanced skin-safe technology, so the trimmer reduces cuts. Everything you need to keep trimmed and smelling nice is in the Perfect Package 3.0. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code KFAN20 at manscaped.com. That's manscaped.com. Use the code KFAN20.
Chances are, if you're hearing this spot, you're currently in a vehicle. And if you're not wearing a seatbelt, well, that could be tragic news. For crash sakes, wear your seatbelt.
Extra enforcement now on Minnesota roads. A message from the Minnesota Department of Public Safety.
Bet River Sportsbook is ready to make this football season one to remember. All season, score at Bet River Sportsbook with free bets, odds boosts, and more. Player props, thousands of game lines, and live in-game betting. Bet River Sportsbook delivers best-in-class sports betting experiences with outstanding customer service to back it up. Go to betrivers.com. And if you reside in a non-regulated state, then betrivers.net has action for you. Bet Rivers, your hometown sportsbook. Must be 21, must be present in Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, or Pennsylvania to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You run a business and you need better wireless. 3 words, no more compromise. With the T-Mobile Business Advantage, you get the largest 5G network, award-winning customer support, and insanely great value. No trade-offs. Right now, get up to 90 days of unlimited free on business plans when you switch via bill credits. Stop in to find out more. Plus taxes and fees for some plans. Complete port within 60 days. Customers over 50 gigabytes per month have lower speeds during congestion. Video at 480p unlimited on our network. See T-Mobile.com for 5G devices coverage and plan details.
Vikings post-game coverage continues now with Vikings Overtime on FM 100.3 KFAN, Twin Cities News Talk AM 1130 and the Fan Radio Network. Vikings Overtime is presented by Transportation Plus. Now, with more post-game comments about the Vikings game, here's the fans Eric Nordquist, AJ Mansour, and Paul Lambert.
Your Minnesota Vikings lose 31-30. They are now 0-3. The Tennessee Titans are 3-0. Welcome to Vikings Overtime. Hi, AJ.
Hello.
Hi, Nordo.
How are you doing?
I'm great. It's kind of
well, you love it. We were just talking about it before.
Love it is not the correct term.
Here we go.
Love it is not the correct term.
Let's get right into it.
You referred to it as the perfect outcome.
Yeah, well, it was.
Blame yourself.
It was. Justin Jefferson had a great game. Dalvin Cook's a stud, and they lost. This team that we have watched 3 weeks in a row. Now, you could say, yeah, they did basically everything they needed to do. They played better. It was maybe the best we've seen them all year into this short 3-game season. But that last drive was hideous.
The last 2 drives
were hideous.
Yeah.
Correct.
Garbage.
You go back to the one where they needed a field goal to win the game, and you're getting, I wrote it down here. Hold on 1 second. I even took notes here.
Wait a minute, you took notes?
Yeah, I'm prepared, man.
Oh, this is...
Cousins had the incomplete pass. Then they had the botched snap, which they were lucky they didn't lose that.
Yeah.
And it was just awful. Then he throws that awful interception, which he kind of had to do.
It was a jump ball, 4th and 26 or whatever.
Thielen almost had it, which would have been sweet. But they make so many mistakes, man. Every time they need something, you and I talked about it, Nordo. Irv Smith so far has served zero purpose.
Yeah, well, the tight ends have.
Yeah, Kyle had the one touchdown, but then he runs out of bounds on that one play in the second to last drive. It's just hideous all around. But here we are, 0-3, where you're already a 4-point dog against Houston next week. Your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts is Mike Zimmer ran out of answers defensively. There was kind of this sea change in the third quarter where we go up. It was the awesome touchdown to Justin Jefferson. And then Vrabel and the Titans just decide, okay, we got to figure this out here. We're just going to smash you in the face with Derrick Henry and see what happens. And it worked. And then you get nothing on the ensuing drive. They come right back down, score another touchdown. And suddenly now you're trailing and having to chase again. And even when you get that last touchdown, and I'm mixing it up. Was it Kyle that went ahead for 30? Is that right? With that pass in the end zone,
went ahead for 30.
Yeah, went ahead to 30.
It was the 3-yard touchdown.
How beautiful was that?
That was a great. That was an amazing.
Did you hear Pete? Pete was
freaked out.
shocked more than anybody
No,
was.
it was hysteria in the booth.
Yeah.
I will tell you that. That changed pretty quickly as well. The final two possessions were terrible.
Yeah.
I watched a team that looked like they thought they had it in the bag.
Correct.
But then you have, speaking of Irv Smith, from the crackback penalty a week ago to the block in the back, that penalty that brought that drive back on the second to last possession. So that screwed that whole thing up. And then whatever weird circus-like comedy of errors on the final stretch, you have plenty of time. You've proven, that you can get all over this Titans defense offensively. And after all of the good that came in the game, to watch it end on that note, it's a different week. This team is not good enough. The veterans, you heard it from Mike Zimmer after the game, they are not stepping up enough in totality consistently for the duration of an entire game. And for the third time in a row, they've found a different way to completely flop and fall on their faces, this time dramatically at the end.
So judging by the brief as we were coming on to air conversation that we had,
you guys wanted to go.
I got two guys here
16 on some ridiculous tank for Trevor bit.
I got Paul over here,
my Twitter,
who's ready to lose every game the rest of the way and get Trevor Lawrence. I got Nordo over here, who I want to hear what your desired outcome is given where we are right now. I'll put myself somewhere in the middle, leaning towards the not winless situation, but I'm sick of, as a guy following this team, as a fan of this team growing up, I'm sick of getting a 7 to 15 overall pick in the first round and watching everybody else get these top 5 picks and really turn it into something. Now, there's arguments on both sides of that. Matt Khalil didn't turn out. Other top 5 picks haven't turned out. It's not a guaranteed thing, but you have a player at the very top in Trevor Lawrence.
Our first round pick this year, Jeff Gladney, isn't turning out.
No, not
although
at all.
He was much better today. I
Correct.
would concede that.
But you have a lot of people clamoring for change, whether that be head coach, whether that be front office, whether that be quarterback. That comes with this team losing more games. The rest of this calendar, the schedule for the next 4 weeks doesn't get any easier. You have Houston, you have Seattle, you have Atlanta, and then you have Green Bay.
Yeah.
That's a tough stretch for a team that's starting 0-3.
Sure.
And that conversation has already begun for people who, whether you're a tank for Trevor person, whether you are, we just need to do bad enough to get some change left or right. That's what we're hearing. That's what we're hearing. And you got two opposite spectrums in order. What is your desired outcome here? The team is 0-3.
Yeah, they
are kind of rebuilding. What's the plan? Like, what do you want?
They're not necessarily rebuilding as much as they're completely battered. I wanted the team to win the game. I'm a fan of the team. I want them to win a game. But for a season
that's going to end in 5 or 6 wins, is that what you want?
How can you project that at this stage?
I can't.
So I'm saying from a week-to-week basis, when I watch this team and I look forward to the games on Sunday, and after a summer of purge-like existence, it's been awful. I'm excited every year. I don't want the team to go 2-14.
You're closer to the team too. The vibe gets
because
weird.
I want the team to win.
Sure.
I wanted to go to US Bank Stadium today and see a win, which if they had won would have been one of Mike Zimmer's most impressive regular season victories.
Sure.
Because the defense does not have any talent and the offense has been completely discombobulated.
You're starting third and fourth stringers all over the place.
So the answer from my standpoint is I'm not looking ahead at what the final record is. I'm not looking ahead at if they make the playoffs, if we're crossing our fingers for the extra wild card that's in the mix this year. I'm not looking ahead to any of that. I was just looking at Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry, and an opportunity for us to feast offensively on that defense, find some confidence. I'm watching a lifeless, pulseless offensive operation right now. We finally got to see that turn around. I want to see Dalvin doing his thing. He did. I want to see Justin Jefferson come alive. He did.
Sure.
I just wanted a win out of that. I'm not interested in projecting what next April is going to look like and if we have the 12th pick instead of the 4th pick or something like that. I'm just a fan of the team and I want them to win. And when you see what they were doing for about 2.5 quarters with a couple of bleep ups, but they had the thumb on the go button, and for them to just take victory out of, and just drop it. Just this beautiful chalice.
Best way to put it.
And just spill it all over their freaking laps. It's so awful to watch what I have watched now through 3 weeks. I wanted them to win the game. I don't care about Trevor. He might be good, whatever.
Yeah,
I don't
but the
care about
comeback
the draft. I care about now.
The comeback to that, Nordo, though, is a 2-0 team maybe doesn't do that. They're just a bad football team.
They are not
a bad football. A good, even a decent football team doesn't do that. You have a vet, and Mike Zimmer said it, man. You have a veteran football team, and your last ditch effort is 4th and 26. That's what you have to, because you get an awful, you botch snap, you get all these bad things that put you in these positions. Both Cook and Kyle, who are veterans of this team, are going out of bounds.
That's what I'm
Stay
saying.
in bounds.
I want them to win games. They're not doing anything to win.
If they were 1-1, I would probably feel the same. But now, and AJ's kind of right. You're 0-3. What are you going to do? You're going to lose to Green Bay. You're going to lose to Seattle. You're going to go into Houston against a team that's 0-3 with half a defense and win? No.
It's
way.
macro and micro on the arguments here, and there's foibles on both arguments.
I'm going week to week.
Sure,
it is impossible for me to sit here and go, yeah, I hope they lose out. I hope everything ends as bad as it possibly can be. I just look at it week to week. I look forward to the game. I try to figure out, like, I concoct something in my head. If this happens, the team can win. And frankly, I was out of ideas this week. I thought it would be a lopsided loss. I was pleasantly surprised for about 55 minutes of the game.
I thought it'd be 31-10.
And
what
that's
about
why
Gostkowski, by the way?
Damn it, 6.
Steven, this guy, he had missed, I think, a field goal, or it was an extra point in like 5 or 6 straight games.
3 field goals and an extra point in week 1.
Yeah, he was a disaster at Denver week 1. And now, look at the first time in his career where people are setting records on us.
6 for 6.
6 for
3 of them from beyond 50 yards.
I know this is Vikings overtime, but how about this? A team that was once up 10-1, that being the Cubs, have let the White Sox back into the game.
Way.
It's 10-8 in the bottom of the 9th inning with 2 outs and a guy on for the White Sox. But still, they were up 10-1.
Yeah, they were 10-1 in the top of 7.
The Twins are currently losing 3-2, and people are going, who cares? But
yeah, it's 4-2 in the
4-2 now. Yeah.
Yeah, if the White Sox lose, the Minnesota Twins win the division, correct?
Yes.
So
and thus avoid the Yankees,
I think till at least
I don't know.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of different scenarios.
Bonus had the whole bit there, but I think
if everything held true, we might be hosting the Astros.
Yeah, something the Astros
6 seed Astros.
It might be
like
Cleveland and the Yankees or something like that. So,
but back to basically this argument is Kirk Cousins played okay. He actually played fine. It's just that offensive line is so bad, but then he makes that decision coming out at halftime.
Yeah,
what are you doing? That was an awful pass.
Yeah.
And then Clowney makes a boneheaded play by hitting that guy.
Watching the replay at the stadium, I got to be honest, I think we were bailed out with that call. Because Jefferson made eye contact with him. I mean, there wasn't like a blind side.
He saw him coming.
I had no issue with
I've only seen it once, so I'm going to make that giant turn. But still, though, from the replay I saw, it looked like, my point is, boneheaded because he's not in the play.
Right.
You don't need to make that block.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
But the crux of it was that Kirk made a terrible decision.
That was awful.
And so and then that goes back to a combination of him not being able to adjust, but that's because he's not comfortable, and that's because the offensive line is just
what did you say? He has 6 interceptions so far.
I believe he was tied for the league lead with Wentz with 4 coming into the day.
Two
had
of
another
which,
couple today.
Right.
2 of which, one was a Hail Mary, which who cares?
Yeah.
And the other was the 4th down play today,
which is technically a Hail Mary.
Who cares?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it's not good by any stretch. 4 is not much better than 6.
But the one to start the half, I mean, Clowney, let's say that doesn't happen. I mean, then it's just whatever air is left in that stadium is gone.
Right? What was it, 17-9 at half?
Yeah.
Right.
So and then they do get a field goal on that possession.
No, didn't they punt? I don't think they got anything on that.
Oh, they got knocked out of range.
I think they got 0 on that.
Yeah, they punted. So the defense, for having literally nothing, and Charch basically tweeting that Jonnu Smith would have 45 touchdowns and 400 yards today. They actually played decent when they had to. Now, they couldn't stop Derrick Henry. That was, as AJ has been saying both weeks, they're a bend, don't kind of break defense.
I mean, they did that.
But it isn't the defense we're used to. They have no corners.
Yeah.
The safeties are basically playing nickel corner because they don't have any other
corners
to
have Harry
play.
up to help with Henry today.
Right.
I think we need help. We need, obviously that's an obvious statement, but what worries me is I saw Jeff Gladney very good in the first half. I thought Gladney got picked on a little bit later. The explosive plays, I think, today were kind of the dagger for the defense because Khalif Raymond,
right?
Who the hell is Khalif Raymond?
I have no idea.
More than 100 yards.
I think more than 100 yards today.
I've never heard of that.
Corey Davis picking himself up off the mat. They basically don't want him around.
Right,
they wouldn't pick up his fifth-year option.
Yeah, because AJ Brown was out.
Out today, but I think it was Holton Hill and Chris Boyd may have had a penalty at some. I forget who it was, but the secondary is just they can't hang with guys. There's communication issues. The one big play, I forget, it was either Gladney or Boyd. It was Gladney. On a 61-yard play, kind of let the guy go, thinking he had safety help when he didn't. And it's just those types of mistakes that you can deal with if they're playing 10 snaps a game and you're giving Mike Hughes or Cam Dantzler a breath. But I mean, when these guys are playing significant portions of the game, you're going to run out of answers at some point. And Tannehill he's not amazing, but Tannehill just kind of sticks with it.
Yeah, man. He's the perfect guy for that
He's a grinder,
team.
man.
He's the perfect guy for that penalty.
He's good. He's good.
That Gladney 61-yard catch, the catch for Raymond, which was the second time that they did that play-action double move scenario. Mike Zimmer mentioned with Greg Coleman after the game that on that specific play, there was a safety who bit on the fake, whether there was I haven't seen any of the All-22 or anything, whether there was a pump fake or if it was the play action, there was a safety that bit, and Gladney was supposed to have coverage over the top, but somebody else did up for that. And that was Mike. That was a head coach saying it.
Oh, really?
So Gladney didn't just think that he had help.
That would have been
he should have had help.
That would have been Anthony Harris.
So maybe it was Harris.
Yeah.
But somebody bit on a fake and left him hanging there, and it ended up 61 yards down to the 4-yard line for that Derrick Henry touchdown.
Well, I'm happy to tell you guys it was the perfect outcome according to you.
Yeah,
guys.
it was.
Couldn't be happier.
No, it was.
The team lost today.
For long-term success, I think it might be.
When you and I have to do those draft shows on a Saturday and we have to do 7 hours, and they have the first overall pick in every round, you know how great that'll be? You know how great it'll be in December when you have to put together that song and you get to talk about how they get to get Trevor Lawrence? You know how pumped people will be? You think it's bad now when this team, which probably will be 0-6.
I'm not living for April 2021. I'm living for September of 2020. I'm living for a team week to week. And so you guys can't wait. Let's just wrap it up and let's do draft talk next segment. I think, hey, overtime the Vikings, they lose 31-30. Sauce couldn't be happier. We're going to break down the top 10 prospects thus far in the 2021
No, we're not going to do that. Hey, guess what? AJ and I aren't at fault for your back hurting, okay?
No, I'm just saying.
Stop throwing your kids around.
You hate the
in a
team.
good way, in a playful way.
You hate the team.
Quit helping your buddy move. How old's your buddy?
46.
Yeah, he should pay for somebody to help. You're not supposed to be helping him move. Send him the doctor
move the
bill.
couch downstairs.
Don't do that. Your buddy can have people do that. Don't do that.
I can't walk.
People like you and I don't help people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You help me. That's about it. We got really, really, really good news when we come back.
Tired of searching for sports updates in different places? The Xfinity Sports Zone gives you the ultimate sports hub experience, where you can find games, news, and highlights all in one place right on your TV. Follow the teams you love across your favorite sports. You can even use the voice remote to access stats and scores. With the Xfinity Sports Zone, everybody wins. Now that's simple, easy, awesome. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store for details. Restrictions apply. Requires Xfinity TV service with X1.
Nordo here from my friends at Profile by Sanford. What up, AJ?
Hey, Nordo. Yeah, man, I'm thankful that football is back, but I'm even more thankful for Profile by Sanford. I've lost 53 pounds, and man, do I feel great.
Yeah, you look great, man. I've changed the way I eat and even how I think about food.
I have more energy, I'm sleeping better, and I feel better than I have in years.
What about the coaches, man? My Profile coach, they keep me accountable, encourage me every step of the way.
I definitely could not have done it on my own, so thank you, Profile.
To learn more about a profile near you, visit profileplan.com. That's profileplan.com.
It's Chris Hockey. How great is it to move into the fast lane, avoiding traffic jams, breezing through airport security? Nobody likes to wait in line, and that's why Chris Lindahl Real Estate's Guaranteed Offer program is perfect for you. Bypass the crowded marketplace and get maximum control and convenience. It's simple. You get a guaranteed offer on your home. There's no showings, no open houses, no stress. You even pick your closing date and close with confidence. Buying anything today, groceries, clothes, even cars, is all about control and convenience. You go online, you check your options, you make your choices, you pick your delivery speed, and boom, you're done. So why should it be the same with real estate? Now it is with Chris Lindahl Real Estate's Guaranteed Offer program. The days of cleaning and decluttering and trying to sell your current home before you want to buy your next one, those are over. Now you skip the headaches, you skip the stress, and you skip the uncertainty with the Guaranteed Offer program. If you're ready to move into the fast lane and sell your home with maximum control and convenience, well, just go to chrislindahl.com today and start packing. It's chrislindahl.com. chrislindahl.com.
We made USAA insurance for members like Beth, a Navy veteran. She and her husband Larry might be old school, but they're made of the curiosity to always try new things, like that cooking class, or skiing, and finally learning guitar, now that the kids are out of the house. So when Beth realized they were overpaying the insurance company they've been with for years, she and Larry thought they'd try another new thing, switching to USAA. USAA insurance is made the way Beth and Larry need it, with super knowledgeable agents who take the time to understand your coverage needs and help you find the savings you deserve. Switch and save with USAA Insurance. Get a quote today at usaa.com/insurance. USAA, what you're made of, we're made for. Ability to receive a quote depends on membership eligibility. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
This is the story of a very special woman. Just a few knew about her superpowers. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
This year, Halloween is what we make it. So make it big with Lowe's. Stock up on spider webs, skeletons, soaring ghosts, and more spooky decor, starting at just $3.98. And layer on some classic fall style with 3-quart Hardy Mums, starting at just $5.98. Whether you care to scare or spook, trick or treat, hurry into Lowe's today. And let's bring on a Halloween to remember. Selection and pricing vary by location. While supplies last, in-store only. Valid through 9/30. U.S. only. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Your home for all things purple.
He'll fire to the right side. Caught by Diggs. Stay on. Oh my God.
FM 100.3 KFAN. The Fan.
Madison, the tailback, offset eye left behind Cousins. Thielen stands up to the right. Kirk facing a blitz. Hit as he throws. Back to the end zone. One-handed catch. Rudolph. No. Yes. Way. Touchdown. A one-handed, left-handed grab by Kyle Rudolph. And the Minnesota Vikings lead 30-25.
Your Minnesota Vikings lose 31-20. But the Chicago Cubs 10. The Chicago White Sox 8, meaning your Minnesota Twins are your Central Division champions. 2 years.
Congratulations.
Rocco Baldelli, 2 years, 2 championships. Good for him. So if they win, Gleeman or Bonus just tweeted it. If they win, they play the...
If who wins?
If the Twins win, excuse me.
Hang on, I got it here. Okay,
Yeah.
Did the Twins win? No. Did Chicago win? No. Then the Twins win the Central. If Oakland wins.
No, sorry. If they win, they play the White Sox. If they lose, they play the Astros.
So they'll play the Astros.
Yeah, because they're down, 4-2? The Twins
it's 5-2.
Yeah, so if they lose, they'll play the Astros.
Okay.
Yeah, so all right,
Sweet.
cool.
Sure.
But back to the Minnesota.
That's cool.
Back to the Minnesota Vikings. We did see a great game today by Justin Jefferson. Man, 7 catches, 175 yards, and 1 touchdown. Which was, I mean, what a great play. He got by those 2 guys, and good for him, man. First NFL touchdown, he dances into the end zone. This is a kid that, like, I think was a 0-star recruit out of high school. Good for him, man. He's kind of splashed onto the scene, and then Cook 181 and a touchdown. Huge day for those two.
Yeah, I couldn't be. I mean, the duo, 370 or so some total yards between the two of them.
Yeah.
It was time for the one thing with Kirk, and as part of this offense getting better, which they put up 30 points today. Not enough, but finding a secondary target. And you could see that there was a big focus, and not just Kirk getting more comfortable with Jefferson, but actually creating plays and setting things up to make him a feature. And we saw what happens when you make him a feature. So, the breakout today, hopefully that lends to consistency where it's not 2 catches for 12 yards next week, then 4 catches for 70 yards the week after, the ebb and flow. Rookie season ups and downs, I'm sure will happen, but make him a consistent second target in lieu of where I thought, through 3 games, Irv Smith Jr., that's crickets. BC Johnson.
Yeah.
How about that, by the way?
Right.
BC kind of expectations to evolve on year 1, where he kind of tailed off at the end of 2019, and it's been crickets for him thus far too. So need Justin Jefferson in the mix, but the best player on our offense is Dalvin Cook. So
Yes.
and for him to be able to do what he did today, despite even with that fumble, that's awesome. I mean, that was a good part of the game for sure.
Can I go back to something you just said, Nordo? 30 points, and you said not enough. Now, clearly not enough because you lose 31-30.
It's a new thing with this team.
But 30 points should be enough to win a football game, right?
It used to be, well, with Zimmer's defense, it used to be, hey,
exactly.
Remember, there was a stretch there where it was basically every week we would quote Zimmer's record when the Vikings score 21 points or more.
Or compare our defense to the Steel Curtain.
We were doing that for a while, yeah.
Tennessee would go back every week.
Right. The historic.
The Baltimore
Ravens.
Ravens, all these historic defenses.
That's not the case anymore.
No.
So 30 points, not enough on a Sunday at home.
Right.
I was pleasantly surprised. So they did, you were there as well, AJ. They did the 250 fans in the mix,
right.
The staff and friends and family, to kind of test out maybe if, cross your fingers, they're ever allowed to have fans in the building again. So that was kind of cool. They upped the decibel level a bit as well.
Which was noticeable, I thought.
Yeah, it was. And so all of that was cool. But the defense, although we saw more pass rush and we saw a little more affecting the game with our defensive line today than we've seen through the first 2 weeks, that's all positive. But man, I mean, I'm looking like I'm scrambling, spotting for PA today. I'm trying to find like Hardy Nickerson Jr.'s number out there. And then hold on. Was that DJ Wanham chasing down Tannehill on that bad snap?
Davis.
Yeah, Todd Davis comes in and he's trying to make tackles. I mean, it's just we got nobody back there right now. I mean, and ultimately all the great plays made today, save for a couple of PBUs by the young kid corners, were the old standards. It was Harry in the end zone, kind of following underneath for the interception. It was Anthony Harris with some big hits towards the line of scrimmage. It was the guys we already know. Unique Ngakoue with his second strip sack 2 weeks in a row. So, it was the guys, the veterans stepping up defensively and just trying to hold that thing together. And it fell apart in the end.
If you have a fantasy team and you don't follow Paul Charchian, Devontae Adams is out for tonight.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Busa, Valdez, Scantling, Lazard.
That'll be a fun game, man. We got
I'm
2 great
excited
games. The game tonight is going to be great, and the game, obviously, tomorrow, Chiefs-Ravens is going to be amazing. So we also saw with this team, man, is, we hear about it a lot here in this office building, but that offensive line, man, they would get a push, and then it was like, wait, what's happening here? Like, they got beat badly. Like, was it the second, or was it the last drive where basically Bradbury got pushed back into Kirk? I mean, some of these Samia
got owned on the first drive.
Yeah. I mean, this offensive line is kind of in tatters again, but hey, Cook still ran for 181 yards or whatever it was, but the offensive line, man, when they needed to kind of get something going and get some moxie to them in that last drive, I mean, that was just horrible.
Well, this is the first time all year that Dalvin Cook could be involved in the game plan into the second half.
Because they weren't down by 30.
Right. They were leading.
They were actually competitive.
You get the ball into his hands. You let him be dynamic. You get the ball outside to him. He got around the end a couple times. He even, caught how many passes? Five targets, two catches. So he was a part of that game too. That is when this offense is dynamic enough to be unpredictable. And obviously, you need to be unpredictable to be a good football team in this league and to score points.
The interior of this line's just
hideous
on both sides.
I'm crossing my fingers for Drew Samia. I don't know what's up with its Dakota Dozier idea. It's not working. So, but in lieu of other options, here we are. And then you have Elflein, the injury and stuff like that with him. The defenses that they're going up against, though. It was Kenny Clark until he got hurt week 1. DeForest Buckner did his thing against Samia last week. And then I don't know how much you guys paid attention to it. This monster, Jeffrey Simmons, he was that Mississippi State kid. And I don't know if he was hurt or what the deal was last year. He dominated and just completely annihilated everything on that offensive line. Everything we were trying to do, specifically in big spots. Number 98 was there.
Oh, man.
And now these guys are really good and they're paid well to collect stats and wreck games, but they're not supposed to be successful at the rate that they are. And this offensive line, just chalk it up. This is like it's becoming a broken record only 3 games in.
Right.
This, it's not good enough. This, it's not good enough. This offensive line has been a broken record conversation for a decade now. Going back to 2012 when you take Matt Khalil, and it's really disappointing and frustrating to watch these guys perform at the level that they are, as poorly as they performed, putting our quarterback in a spot to which he has proven over time that he can't compete at his highest level. It either gets fixed immediately and miracles start happening and guards start walking on water, or it will be one of the longer seasons that you guys will love because we'll get stuck with the first pick and then we'll get our choice.
With the first pick.
We'll get stuck with either Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields, and you guys will be celebrating. So, but that's the state of our offensive line right now. Very much of the same.
You guys are at the stadium. There's more information, obviously, at the stadium than there is anywhere else. Tom Pelissero basically talked about Danielle Hunter.
I saw that.
Not going to be back. Most likely not.
I have it
back.
up right here. It says
he's getting closer to a return, but not immediately when he's eligible.
So what does that mean?
Herniated disc in his neck.
Sounds awful.
Yeah, I don't know. What does that mean? So we'll see him.
I wonder if
they have optimism for returning this season, is what it says.
Oh boy.
Which means the
bye week.
That sounds like bye week kind of because what week is that? 7-ish?
It's 3 weeks
7.
from it's 3 weeks
right.
From now.
Come back week 8. Like it seems maybe feasible, but I've never had a herniated disc in my neck.
Yeah,
but then it's come back week 8. But then is he changing games week 8, or does it take him 3-4 weeks to get back to the swing of it?
I would imagine a herniated disc isn't something you hurry back from, and you probably take it easy as you get back into the swing of things.
Well, is Mike Hughes' neck injury now?
Right.
Is it reaction or is it ongoing from the bid he had last year? In the neck, you don't play with that.
Nope.
Yeah, and Unique's played pretty well, man. He had the strip sack today. He's done what they need him to do.
Yeah.
By the way,
at times,
Justin Herbert may lead this team to a victory over Carolina.
We heard this before.
Yeah, this guy's played really well, dude. How about that story with Tyrod Taylor?
Right. Coach says he's not going to lose his job
punctured his freaking lung
to
an injury, but if they win here,
there's 14
Carolina.
seconds
It's Carolina,
left,
right?
Yeah,
Carolina's not good. Let's get that out
Carolina's not. There are a lot of bad teams. Right. Carolina's not good. How about? We'll go around the league here. There's a team that is literally horrible. Why don't we do that? We'll break. We'll come back. We got one more segment.
So if Houston gets the first pick, they're not taking a quarterback, right?
No. So then all we need to get is the second pick.
Oh, boy.
Great.
All right.
Yeah, correct.
One win. You get to pick where
there
it is.
There it is. You guys changed my mind.
Okay, calm down, Nordo. We didn't hurt your back. Blame your neighbor.
I'm Dan Barrero, and I'm here with Joe Friedberg to talk about Smart Start MN. What do people need to know about the most serious effects of a DWI?
I've been a lawyer for a long time and tried hundreds of cases. I've known a lot of people who've lost their license and can't drive because of a DWI. You will lose your driver's license even before you've been found guilty. You need to drive. You have to drive.
Joe, what is an ignition interlock and why is it important for people charged with DWI?
Smart Start MN has technology that's state approved and the state will give them their license back. Smart Start MN can install a state approved device in your car that will allow you to drive. The state has to let you drive.
How does someone know if they're eligible?
Go to smartstartmn.com and find out more about the program. Smart Start MN is the only locally owned and operated interlock company. Don't go with imitators. Go with the company that helped create this program.
smartstartmn.com. That's smartstartmn.com.
Nordo here from my friends at Profile by Sanford. What up, AJ?
Hey, Nordo. Yeah, man, I'm thankful that football is back, but I'm even more thankful for Profile by Sanford. I've lost 53 pounds, and man, do I feel great.
Yeah, you look great, man. I've changed the way I eat and even how I think about food.
I have more energy, I'm sleeping better, and I feel better than I have in years.
What about the coaches, man? My Profile coach, they keep me accountable, encourage me every step of the way.
I definitely could not have done it on my own, so thank you, Profile.
To learn more about a profile near you, visit profileplan.com. That's profileplan.com.
Donald Trump says we're not safe in Biden's America, but we're living in Trump's America now. And 200,000 Americans have died from the virus that he lied about.
The simple truth is, Donald Trump failed to protect America. So now, he's trying to scare America. Mr. Trump, you want to talk about fear? Do you know if people are afraid they're going to get COVID? They're afraid they're going to get sick and die. And that is in no small part because of you.
Joe Biden will protect the American people, putting our safety above all else.
I want a safe America, safe from COVID, safe from crime and looting, safe from racially motivated violence. And I promise you this, we will do better. There's not a single thing beyond our capacity when we decide to do it together. I'm Joe Biden, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Biden for president.
Tired of searching for sports updates in different places? The Xfinity Sports Zone gives you the ultimate sports hub experience, where you can find games, news, and highlights all in one place right on your TV. Follow the teams you love across your favorite sports. You can even use the voice remote to access stats and scores. With the Xfinity Sports Zone, everybody wins. Now that's simple, easy, awesome. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store for details. Restrictions apply. Requires Xfinity TV service with X1.
While the future may seem uncertain, there's one asset that could help turn your financial goals into reality: the equity in your home. Tap the equity in your home with HomeTap and get cash without the hassle of a loan. HomeTap isn't a lender, they're investors. You get cash now for a percentage of the future value of your home. No interest, no payments. Subject to eligibility, terms and conditions apply. Apply now at HomeTap.com and see how much cash you could get at zero interest. HomeTap.com.
Listening to this Allstate commercial about savings might be the hardest thing about getting those savings. Save for simply becoming an Allstate customer. Save more for adding DriveWise. And save even more for driving safely. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. Allstate. Minimum effort, maximum reward.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. DriveWise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Your station for Skull is FM 100.3 KFAN. The Fan.
Vikings leading 17-9, early third quarter, snap to Tannehill. Blitz is on. Ryan, it's a strip sack by Ngakoue. Ngakoue got around the corner in a hurry.
Final segment, Vikings overtime. They lose 31-30. Let's go around the league. You boys ready?
Let's do it. Can't wait.
The Colts 36, the Jets 7.
Yeah.
I think
Adam
Sam
Gase
Darnold
needs to go bye-bye.
I think Sam Darnold threw 2 pick sixes.
He most certainly did. One right off the bat to Xavier Rhodes, and then one in the third quarter.
The Colts are 2-1. Of course, the Jets are 0-3. The Panthers and Teddy get their first win, 21-16. Justin Herbert, though, threw for 330 and a touchdown. Keenan Allen, 13 receptions, 136 yards and a TD.
I kind of like Herbert in the 2 games that I've seen him play.
Yeah.
But I still, as we were talking about, I can't get over this Tyrod Taylor punctured lung thing.
Unbelievable.
Right.
Like, how much does Justin Herbert need to pay that doctor in some back alley
But what
somewhere?
an awful thing, man.
No, that's weird. That's weird. I mean, I thought Herbert should probably just start the season anyway, but I don't want a punctured lung.
Yeah, no one
sounds
does.
terrible.
Most punctured lungs take 6 to 8 weeks to heal.
Ugh.
Didn't
And that's
Tony
for
Romo
normal
play with
people.
I thought he played with a punctured lung. one
I
time.
think you're right.
Well, and I would venture to guess that most lungs don't get punctured by a needle. It's more likely a rib, which might puncture a little bit more of a hole.
That sounds so
I'm talking way out of turn here, but
Romo
who
was
knows?
a tough guy.
Yeah.
Lions
when I think Tony Romo.
23, Cardinals 23. That game has 4:40 left in the fourth quarter.
We might be the only winless team in the NFC North.
Yeah, we might.
In about 15 or 20 minutes.
Yep. Buccaneers 28, Broncos 10. Tom Brady has 3 touchdown passes. The Broncos are awful. And if you want to talk awful, Broncos and Jets Thursday night football.
That's this Thursday?
That's this Thursday.
Yeah, I think I'm busy.
That's hideous.
Well,
I'll
maybe
still
there'll be a primetime Twins game that day.
Right. Yeah. We'll get to that after we go through all these NFL scores. Seahawks 30, Cowboys 28. The Seahawks have it 3rd and 4 at their own 28 right now, but the Cowboys have come storming back just like they did last week. How about this? Sad Trombonski gets benched. Nick Foles comes in and I think threw 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he did. And they came back.
And they came back and beat who? The Falcons.
Yeah.
The Falcons are 0-3. There might be a couple of coaches fired this week.
I got to be honest. See, if the Vikings could have won today, you're hosting the Falcons in a few weeks. That at least gets you your 2-4 into the bye. Okay, that's awful. I'm not trying to excuse 2-4. But then maybe you get Daniil back and Cam Dantzler's healthy. Like, let's make a year out of it. And then we can draft Trey Lance.
Lay down
mid first round
in the Davenport.
If I lay down, I'm not getting back up
for multiple reasons.
This back thing is awful.
Lay down and let me tell you.
Okay. Yes.
It is not mine and AJ's fault that you have to deal with PA for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Because if they're 0-10,
little bit of sympathy.
If they're 0-10, good luck.
You should have seen the status of the booth after it became 4th and 26 or whatever it was.
Looked like a booth off of like 2nd Washington.
Yeah, we were. No, not the booth with the holes in it.
Okay.
No, not that booth.
Okay.
It did feel very eulogy like. Felt like very funeral like.
Well, you have the soundproof windows up there now with no sound in the stadium.
Yeah.
It gets it's pretty quiet.
Well, I mean, it's how much, and you can admit this, Saucy, when Justin Jefferson gets loose for 71 and you go up 24-12.
It was sweet.
You're like, oh my God, this thing's starting to work.
1 and 2 is way better than 0-3.
And 15 minutes later, you're down 25-24. Your defense is giving up big plays to people named Khalif Raymond, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, I've literally never heard of that guy.
Yeah, I have no idea who he is.
How about
Holy
this?
Cross, by the way. Holy Cross, big time football school.
Yeah, well, that's where Rudy went before he got into Notre Dame. Bills 35, and who cares?
Yeah, you play golf with them, so you do care.
No, I meant like Rudy from the movie.
Oh, I thought it was Kyle Rudolph.
Too many Rudies at Notre Dame.
Yeah. Bills, how about this? Are 3-0, 35-32 over the Rams. The Rams at one point were down 28-3.
Right.
29 unanswered.
Yeah, their
Josh Allen's
quarterback,
a
4 touchdowns, 1 he ran in. He had 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Man, he's an MVP candidate through 3 games.
Right.
He should be, and it's interesting. As good as the Patriots have played, I mean, they're a game back.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, think about how excited we will be, given that our favorite team, the home team, isn't doing so well. We'll be excited for a Bills-Patriots game.
Yeah.
That's going to be really cool.
That'll be
Josh
sweet.
Allen, Cam's playing his ass off right now.
We might get flexed out of primetime later in the season for a game
For a
like
Bills
that.
game.
Yeah, we might.
For a Bills game.
And a Stephon Diggs game.
Oh, yeah.
Touchdown. Browns 34, Washington 20.
He also had 2 taken back.
Chubb ran in for 2 touchdowns.
You know,
Did Dwayne Haskins have 4 picks?
I heard
4 turnovers.
I have no idea.
Maybe 4 fumbles because it doesn't say he had any interceptions, but I think he had 4 fumbles.
Yeah. Tough start for him. But I will say this.
Hey, but they have 1 win.
Stefanski at 2-1.
Yeah, good for him.
I saw some sort of
They're
weird,
2-0 at home.
I saw some sort of weird stat that it's early in the season, which makes these sorts of stats kind of stupid. It had been like 80 some games since the Browns were above 500.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
How weird is that?
Patriots
3 interceptions.
Oh, he had 3? Wow. Patriots 36, Raiders 20. Both those teams are 2-1. Burkhead had catch 1 and
3 touchdowns.
And he ran into. Yeah. So there's that. The Cowboys are looking to try and come back. How about this? Eagles 23, Bengals 23, a tie. Both of those teams are 0-2-1.
Wait a minute, even the Bengals?
Yeah.
Aren't 0-3?
No, they're 0-2-1.
Right.
Right. Correct.
Okay.
The 49ers, who lost everybody last week, came in and beat the Giants 36-9. Those 2 New York football teams that play in that same stadium, 0-6.
Yeah.
They're awful.
I wonder what changed. I mean, the Giants' defense and obviously offensively, the O-line, like Will Hernandez, who we were all excited about.
You and I were super excited
and
about.
Then it's like, oh, great, the Giants took them. And then now it's like,
well, you
can have them.
Do they still have Solder?
I think he's hurt.
Yeah, well, he was a giant flop, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Free agent flop?
Yeah, another listing on the list of guys that leave the Patriots and do not flourish.
Yeah, except for their quarterback who's now throwing 3 touchdowns today.
Dude,
Steelers,
he's ramping up, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh, the Bucs are going to be very, very good.
Steelers 28, the Texans 21. The Texans are your Minnesota Vikings opponent next week. They are 0-3. Ugh.
I know. And it feels like they're going to be 1-3.
It does feel like that.
Remember the conversation we had last week? And again, I'm a rube. I can't root for the team to lose under any circumstances. But it was like, you can't say with certainty that they're better than any team in the NFL right now. I mean, Houston should be favored by 4 at home, right?
Yeah,
you'd think
4
so.
4 or 5.5, maybe something like that. And they gave it all against that Steelers defense today. I mean, David Johnson is he's got some washed up to him, but he's catching passes, got into the end zone today, and Deshaun Watson can run a bit. We're going to have Hardy Nickerson Jr. spying Deshaun. I mean, that's where we're at. Those are the types of things we're going to do. Well, maybe we'll do the Eden Prairie kid, Ryan Connolly, because he's an undersized linebacker that runs a 4.5.
Right.
Those are the things we're going to be talking about this week leading up to that game.
Right.
My God.
Those are all your NFL scores. Let's get some Major League Baseball updates. And I think the number 1 seed is Tampa. Let me get it up here. Obviously, it wasn't.
The matchups for the baseball playoffs have been set.
Sorry. I
have it. I have it right in front of me. Would you like me to read it?
I would love you to read it.
Okay, so the playoffs have been set in both the American League and the National League. We don't care about the NL unless we get to the World Series, so let's stick with the AL. The Rays are your number 1 seed. Best of 3, they host the Blue Jays. The Oakland Athletics are the 2 seed. They host the number 7 seed White Sox. The number 4 seed Indians will host the number 5 seed Yankees, which means that the number 3 Twins and the Twins fans are all pumped because they avoided the Yankees in a best of 3 series. They are hosting the cheating Astros for a best of 3 that starts on Tuesday. Game 1, maybe Kenta Maeda.
Yeah, I think
Let's go. I think it's Maeda, Barrios, and Pineda.
Yeah, it's in that order.
And isn't Verlander hurt or something? So I won't have Verlander.
Yeah. Altuve's batting like $110.
Well, he doesn't have his buzzer under his jersey.
Yeah,
so
correct.
This is very juicy. Yeah, so it's going to be best of 3 Twins
It'll
and
be
Astros
fun, man.
starting on Tuesday.
It'll be super fun. I can't wait for that to start. Also, I mean, now that we're a week out, we got Houston. The Minnesota Vikings are going to Houston. They're 4-point dogs. I mean, is there anything? I mean, other than Justin Jefferson, who basically become a star today and has the most rookie yards in his first 3 games, more than Randy Moss, which is amazing. I had it here in a second. Hold on here. Where is it? Yeah, Justin Jefferson is the first rookie with 100 receiving yards and a half since Randy Moss did it in that Thanksgiving game against the Cowboys in 1998.
Yeah,
man,
I can't put him in Moss's category,
Well, of course
obviously, but I mean, the kid can come alive, man, and his ability to adjust in the open field and stretch himself out there. And I mean, he's a highlight playmaker.
There's going to be a lot of free agency dollars spent on Justin Jefferson this week.
Yeah,
in fantasy football.
Yeah, there will be.
Absolutely.
And he played really good, man. I mean, it was awesome to see. But do we have any update on like Mike Hughes? Like, how bad is that injury?
I don't think we're going to know, and they're not going to tell us.
Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be one of those situations where we'll week to week and find out. I think you're about to ask us if there's anything else that we could feel good about.
Yeah.
I feel decent about the offensive play calling today. Obviously, being in the game, being competitive allows you to do more things, but they were able to do things that were just different than they had been doing the past 2 weeks. And sometimes in the past, with Mike Zimmer at the helm and Kubiak in the mix and doing some different plays. The direct snap to Dalvin Cook was something you don't see very often.
Yeah.
Play action bootleg seems to be back for Kirk Cousins, for better or for worse. It seems to be back in the playbook. So I think that that's a good thing for this team if you're on Nordo's side and you want them to win games. But yeah, outside of that, I don't know that there's much more that I could put my hat on and say, hey, this was a great sign or a good step in the right direction today.
I don't know why you would ever watch a game and want the team to lose.
Because I like the longevity of this team, and I look towards the future. It's macro versus micro, like we talked earlier.
Yeah, I don't understand macro versus micro, even though I was an economics major in college. Anyway, the play calling was better. It stunk of, I shouldn't say it stunk, but there was an air of desperation in the mix. They're 0-2.
Yeah.
Everything has failed miserably.
Right.
They just want to build some sort of confidence. And so the clear change, the sea change of getting Dalvin involved as much as possible, as early as possible, that could have been a huge failure had it not worked out. It did work out, which then brought you down the road of having a pretty successful game offensively until you fumbled the freaking thing at the goal line with those last two hideous possessions, penalty-laden, mistake-laden, weird stuff from the center, and now you're 0-3.
Real quick, I'll have an article up on this on Twitter later tonight, but sixth time that the Vikings have started 0-6 in their franchise history, only the second time that it's happened to a veteran coach who's been in the mix for more than a second year.
Lawrence looking at that bunch formation. Here's a fade to the corner, and it's beautifully thrown to Higgins for a touchdown. 9th touchdown catch of the year for T. Higgins, and Trevor Lawrence with his 28th touchdown.
I want Trey Lance.
The Minnesota Vikings take on the Houston Texans a week from today. Both teams are 0-3. The Minnesota Vikings, as of right now, are a 4-point underdog. Saints Packers tonight without Devontae Adams right here on The Fan.
Tired of